Proposition 7 is a small proposition, but there are those who love it. Let me tell you why. Proposition 7 is all about how we calculate time in California. In 1949, due to an initiative passed by the people of California, we decided that we would conform our time to federal law. What that means is that in November we fall back to standard time, and in March we spring forward to daylight savings time. And that's been true since 1949, and because the people decided that in California, we just follow federal law. Now, federal law would allow for states to go to all standard time if they want. They don't have to go up and back. Arizona, our neighbor to the east, Hawaii, our neighbor way to the west, are examples of places that simply stay on standard time. They've decided it's not worth making the changes. But in California, because of the initiative, the legislature cannot make that decision for us. So what this proposition would do is that it would return the power to the legislature to make this choice. So what are the policy arguments, one way or the other? If the legislature were to get the power from the people to consider further what to do, if the legislature wanted to do it, what would they do? They would look at the issues like the fact that when the change takes place in November and March, there is some inconvenience. You have to change your clocks. You have to remember, I'm sure that there are missed appointments. Sometimes people might miss airplanes. And there's also some medical evidence that at least in the short term, there's a bit of a spike in heart attacks and stroke and other medical concerns. And in fact, there is a cardiologist who's one of the proponents of this initiative. Now, on the other side is the argument that if we were not to change to Pacific Standard Time, and we didn't do that, well, in the winter, what would happen is that we would be starting to go to work and particularly go to school in the dark. But the ballot proposition is really about something deeper about California law. Is this an issue that should be decided by the people as it was in 1949, and that there's no room for the legislature to make a policy choice that might be different? Or is this something where we do think the legislature should be the ones empowered to weigh these arguments, to hear from experts like cardiologists, like experts in traffic accidents, etc., and make that decision? If the legislature were to decide to keep us on standard time by a 2/3 vote of the legislature, well, federal law would allow that. But if the legislature thought that the best decision would be to go to daylight saving time all year round, they would still have to seek permission from Congress. So the choices are, we could stay with the status quo for sure, which would be, because of the 1949 initiative, the people of California decided that we want to conform to federal law and keep our time zone the same as our neighbors like Mexico, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, or whether we want to give the legislature the chance to decide to have all year standard time, and then we would conform to Arizona and Hawaii, so many thousands of miles away. Or if they decided the best decision was to use daylight savings time all year round, they would have to go to Congress and ask permission. So who are the better deciders of this? The people or the legislature?